And lo, the gods did smile upon the Apex Adjacent podcast.
And how?
By sending a prophet.
A prophet, you say?
A prophet on 6th Avenue. And then again on Colorado Boulevard.
Avenue the 6th?
Avenue of the 6th.
And Boulevards of Colorado?
Correct.
And what was this good omen?
Please, show the people. Share with them the good news of the Saab 9.5 photographed very terribly. It looks like a picture of a Sasquatch through the woods. Also, they very much missed the line at the squirrel crossing here.
Let's not dox the person for messing up a traffic light.
Anyway, this is our first show. Our very first show with our new name. And what did I see on the way over here to record it? But the last Saab 9.5.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just say the last ever Saab 9.5. We have no way of knowing that or any evidence to support that, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Right. So it's a metaphor for the show, right?
Yeah.
Highly aspirational, cobbled together with parts from a various General Motors bins, right?
And an utter failure.
No.
But we look good doing it.
You see, there you go. There you go. That's my man.
Welcome, everyone, to the Apex Adjacent podcast show thingy. It's basically the same as the Team Clear Coat podcast.
Yes.
But with a better name.
We
think.
Welcome, everyone. Ian.
Dave.
On this show, let's run the people what we're going to talk about.
We're going to do some MyEyes. That was a little bit of that. The things that we see.
Got a garage update on the Vigan.
We'll do a little of the FMK cars.
Absolutely.
And we did a track day.
And then we're going to round it out with some stuff from our buddy Eric in Illinois. He sent us a couple texts with some pictures.
Perfect. Sounds like a show to me.
There's a show. Let's get to it.
Okay.
All right. Ian, besides you seeing the 9.5.
Hold on. Let's first, can we toast?
There you go.
Can we toast? I'm just really excited to drink the rest of this whiskey.
I've been making you hold it and wait.
Cheers to our first 215th, 14th show.
Cheers to the first real Apex Adjacent podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Making mouth noises on microphones is what everyone loves.
Dead air while we sip.
Yep. Let's see here. I should have done just an atomic fireball in mint tea or something. You know, as, you have your whiskey, I have some tea.
That is not what whiskey tastes like. But continue, please.
All right. So, Ian, I want besides your Saab 9.5, I saw a car, because this is a car podcast.
Wait, what?
I know. I saw a car that I think kind of sums up our podcast efforts, and I thought it was a good first MyEyes for the show.
All right.
All right. So this was spotted at Panera, all right, where I live. And this is a BMW M2, right? It's not. It's a BMW 2 Series with a vanity plate that says M2-ish.
That's fantastic.
And I love it so much because we often talk about how Carstanzas are, lying, how vanity plates are insane.
Right.
But this really hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Because it's a 2 Series with an M Sport package.
Right.
Right. And this person is being very honest about it. It's M2-ish.
That's fantastic. Right? I am all for self-deprecation in vanity plates.
Right.
If you're going to self-own with a vanity plate,
right,
and you're aware that you're self-owning, I'm into it.
Yeah. I think that's such a great way to do a vanity plate and not suck at it.
Right, yeah, because this is the ideal vanity plate, and on the other end of that spectrum is blessed.
Right, or what was the one I sent you? Mindful?
Right.
On a Toyota Camry.
Oh.
Mindful. As I putter in my Toyota Camry.
Right. I'm not mindful of what a douche I look.
So M2-ish. I love it. I love it. And Apex adjacent. We are Apex adjacent. We're not at the apex.
Right.
We're apex-ish.
You're right. That is an appropriate one for us to start off with.
Right?
I like it.
Right?
Nice.
Okay. You saw something, Ian.
I saw something. This is not a metaphor for anything. It's just really funny to me. Hold on. Before we zoom in on this, so you can kind of see, the people can see it's kind of a stanced out Infinity G37 thing that's going on
here. This is the other half of my old man Infinity demographic.
Right. It's got a loud rap on it.
Yep.
And I just want to, the picture I want you to have in your head is a young couple, maybe with a baby.
Yes.
So maybe they're holding like the car carrier.
Yes.
A brand new infant.
Okay.
And they're standing in front of what they think is going to be their first home together.
Oh, okay. This is a big life step.
This is lots of life things have happened.
Oh man, they are growing up.
Maybe they've both, gotten married recently.
Yeah.
One of them just started a brand new job and a real career, and they finally have the whole thing together.
The means.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Savings? Is that what it's called? Savings? I've heard tell of them. To buy a house. And they're nervous about this because it's a big step.
Yeah.
And, one of them turns to the other and says, I know you're nervous.
Right.
But don't worry.
Right. One of them's playing the role of the cheerleader in the relationship at that time. Right.
Our realtor
will
be here soon.
Okay.
He'll know what to do.
Okay.
And then go ahead and zoom in. This rolls up.
A slammed Infinity G37 with crazy exhaust and a question mark. Need a realtor on the window.
I don't think that's very confidence inspiring for your clients, my man.
Ian, run me down the vehicle that you feel like would show that you would be comfortable with.
Yeah, I think the ideal is like a small Mercedes SUV.
Right, exactly.
That's the stereotypical. Right. If the G-Wagon, also pictured here, shows up, then that person has sold houses to mobsters, and you should maybe not deal with them.
Your escrow is in cocaine.
Yes. Whereas your escrow is in vape pens.
Yes. Exactly.
And camber plates.
Yes. So you are not inspiring confidence in the young couple that is entering home ownership for the first time.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Yes. They're not going to like your dubstep mixtape that you play on the way to the open house.
And that's like just stashed around every open house that you have.
Oh, what's this? It's a laptop showing my YouTube page.
Yeah, no one is interested in a realtor/club promoter.
I love this so much. I love that insane rap. What they need is, so I am not really a fan of HGTV, but I am aware of every single fucking show on HGTV.
Right? It's insane that we all walk around with this information in our heads.
Right? So what we need is like Property Brothers cars or like house hunters, but like the real estate agent hunters. And we need to see the cars. We need to see like people picking instead of between homes, the real estate agent that they're going to go with. And they're like, well, Braxel Laxton has a face tattoo.
You're wrong though, because this guy is such a bro. He's such a bro who talks about like got to get them gains.
Yeah.
He's such a bro that his realtor show would be on HGH TV.
Nice.
I'm way more proud of that than I should be.
The only ads that he runs are on Spike TV.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, my face hurts from laughing at this realtor. Oh, Ryan, you got to pick a more sensible vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really good. That's really good, Ian. Oh my God. Okay, all right.
Moving on.
I don't know how we're gonna top that, but I have a MyEyes here.
Okay.
Can you see the one that says
I see one that says Carstanzas.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So we have a Carstanza. So if you're coming in on the first real Apex Adjacent podcast, Ian, sum up a Carstanza for us.
A Carstanza is the automotive equivalent of George Costanza, someone who would lie and then believe it.
Right.
Right. So this is somebody who up badges their car or rebadges their car to make it look like it's better than it actually is.
Exactly. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I have a new theory about Carstanza.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it based on this?
Yes. Okay. So here's what my wife and I saw. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Come on, man.
I love it. I love it when a Carstanza hits you so hard in the face that you move past anger and straight into disappointment.
I'm disappointed.
It's like if you caught your kid when he grows up to be a teenager, like sneaking out of the house, but he's like wearing jingle bells on his pants. You're just a little mad and confused and just mad that you had to wake up for that.
Right.
Right.
It just come on.
So for anybody listening to the audio only podcast, it is a BMW X1. But what they did is they took like the tiny M badge
Off a Hot Wheels car, it looks like.
off of like the side of like another M car.
Like an E36 M3.
Right. Like the tiny little M badge. And they put that in front of their X1. And they didn't even put it on straight.
Or justified. It's not even center justified to the X, like vertically.
They kind of tried to tuck it in there.
Like, how do you not take that out of the packaging when after you order on eBay and go, well, that's not the right size, and just order another one?
Just stuck it on. Ian, okay.
That's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. I mean, this is one for the ages, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to tell me what kind of person you think is driving this.
Oh man, it's hard because it's hard to pin down because
Only one demographic is going to have the fucking chutzpah to drive this around every day.
Well, but here's the thing: is that it's somebody who cares enough about how they look,
Yeah.
that they think their lot in life will be improved if people think they have an M car.
X1, right. An M car. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But they're not with it enough to make sure that they've done it properly.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's
So
I feel like it's a small Venn diagram.
Well, I don't know, because I think if we were to sum up just general old white men, emboldened to do whatever the fuck they want,
Right.
no guardrails on what's right or wrong, just always used to getting away with whatever the fuck they want to get away with.
Yeah. Did you see this person?
Oh yeah, it was an overweight old white dude.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
I guess that checks out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So, but stepping like laterally from this for a little bit, I had a thought. Okay. All right. So I don't know if this is getting wet with Dave or a shower thought, but I've been thinking about this Carstanza a lot, and I've been holding this for a little while. So this was almost one that I texted to you.
This one's stewing.
It almost broke the seal.
It's so funny every time I look at it.
I love springing these on you in the show. It's one of my favorite things.
Doesn't even make sense.
I know. Okay, so Carstanzas, specifically Carstanzas like this, Ian, I think what they are is, I think it makes me think that it's very similar to plastic surgery, like facelifts, stuff like that. Like, because somebody who has plastic surgery never looks younger. They just look like someone who's had plastic surgery.
Right.
Right? You always like look at somebody and say like, oh, well, they've had work done.
I've always wondered about this. Do you think that's the case, or do you think it's that's what happens if they have one too many?
I think that there's, obviously, like, it's a spectrum. I'm sure that there's very mild plastic surgery that not a lot of people notice.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. But I think that like this, like a Carstanza is like when you see somebody that has had plastic surgery.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Plastic surgery, a bunch of Botox, some lip fillers, right? They don't look like somebody that's younger. They just look like somebody that has had plastic surgery.
They look like every other person who's had too much plastic surgery.
Exactly. Right. And so like an M badge on your X1 doesn't make it look like an M in imaginary X1 or M edition X1, it just makes it look like you fucked up an X1.
Yeah.
When you'd be better, see, and this is the thing, this is what I feel about like plastic surgery, you'd be better off with just the face you have to begin with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. So you'd be better off with we would never pay any attention. This person would never show up on our radar unless
there it is right there.
unless they put that little M badge on it.
There it is right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Because they don't care about, because if they cared about getting it right, first of all, they put the M after the model number on the SUVs.
Right.
It's the X6M.
Yeah, they would Google that.
Right.
They
would at least do it properly.
Right.
But all they care about is the attention.
See, there you go. Right?
It's so pathetic.
When we talk about Carstanzas, what's the thing you always say?
Who is that for?
There you go. You scream that into the night.
Who is that for?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There must be the casual car fan out there.
Yeah.
Who all they know is like M is supposed to be cool.
M is fast and cool. Right.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
But even like, would that even fool them?
I mean, it's got to fool somebody, right?
Do they even make an X1M? I don't even think they do.
They don't. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Just take the X1 off and leave the M down.
I'm sorry to break you on the first real Apex Adjacent podcast, Ian. I'm sorry, but
I have so many questions.
I know. And my wife and I sat next to this person in traffic for a while. You can tell that she legitimately took this picture. That's the passenger side for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So thanks, Boo. Yeah.
You needed to ask some questions.
Yeah.
I have many.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right?
It's so tragic.
Well, Ian, this isn't far from my house. I have a feeling we might be running into MX1.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And they don't care enough to take the dealer license plate holder off.
Nope. They're keeping that Champ license plate holder on.
It's a baffling state of affairs.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wonder too in the back of my head when I see something like this with the combination of the Carstanza badging and the dealer license plate thing.
Yes.
I'm always wondering, like, was there an unscrupulous sales associate at Champ?
Yeah.
Who was like, oh no, that's the M package, and it's like a $3,500 line item on the sticker.
Right. And a 35-cent eBay purchase that they did. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see unscrupulous car dealers' eBay history, right? It's just like TRD racing stickers that they just put on door handles for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So there you go, Ian. Our first Apex Adjacent Carstanza.
It was a good one.
Thanks, man.
That's a good one.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's like the more like nonsensical they are, the better.
Right. Do you want me to keep that tab open? Because I have a feeling like this is going to be one where like you're going to be walking down the street to like take Nico to school like 2 months from now, and you're just going to be like, and another thing.
Probably. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, this tab lives on this computer now.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we have other stuff to talk about. That's our Carstanza.
I want to talk about your proud papa moment that you had recently.
Yes, Ian, I became the happy father of a road legal Saab Viggen.
I'm so incredibly proud of you.
Thank you. It was a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
A little bit of money. And a lot of pacing in that goddamn like sweat box that they give you at the emissions testing place to just watch you.
So we've talked about this a little bit before in the past, but for anyone who doesn't know, in Colorado, we do emissions testing, at least in Denver we do.
Yeah.
And the emissions testing facilities are hilarious because they all...
Here's a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's a big, essentially barn.
Big barn, yep, with
garage bays.
Pull-through bays, yep, and dynos, yeah.
And then in the middle, kind of bisecting all of the bays, they have these like essentially trailers.
Yeah, they're just like trailers, yeah.
In the barn.
Yeah.
That are sealed, from the emissions area.
They've got like a couple vending machines in there, some chairs.
And then these like just large windows where you can watch your car being tested. And what ends up happening is all the people who are there with normal cars are just sitting there reading magazines.
Right. They're on their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waiting. And the person that is testing the car will come in and say like, Toyota Camry.
Right.
Or in Colorado, they say Subaru and everyone gets up.
Right, yeah. But you know that they have a normal car because they are not looking up until their car is announced.
Exactly.
And then I'm done already.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can find the car enthusiasts because they're the one who's pacing back and forth like a sitcom dad waiting outside the delivery room.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it
in the 1980s.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, what's going on in there?
Right.
Oh my God, what's going on there?
They've just driven to the hospital like Dick Van Dyke.
What's going on in there? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, is it going to jump off the rollers?
Yeah.
Oh God. No, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah.
Are they going to have to snip?
Yeah. Exactly. Is it a boy?
Right.
Is it a girl? Yeah.
And you've gone through this process with the Vigan how many times since you bought it?
I meant to have my stack of failed emissions reports here. Funny thing about that. So I bought the Vigan from PETA.
Yeah.
While I'm standing in here doing the expectant father routine, I noticed something up on the wall, Ian.
Yeah. Is it a wall of shame and his face is on it?
Yeah, right. Do not buy a car from this guy. This sketchy Mainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst polluter in Colorado.
No, Ian, you know what it says? It says, don't get sold a lemon. And it was a little lemon with wheels on it. Every vehicle that's sold in the state of Colorado has to be sold with a passing emissions report.
Is that so? Even private sales?
Even private sales. So I texted PETA.
I'll see you in court, motherfucker.
You know what he said? Yeah, right? You'll be here. I did say, you'll be hearing from my lawyer. Spoiler alert, my lawyer is Ian and he's never.
He's terrible. Literally bottom of his class.
Like Charlie, and It's Always Sunny. Let's talk about bird law. Yeah. But I texted PETA and I showed him the banner and he said, is that a new law?
I don't believe it.
So I have failed emissions, I think maybe about 5 times.
5?
4 or 5.
Wow.
Okay. So there was the original. There was the retest. Right. Then there was the original ECU.
Right.
With a retest.
Right.
And then there was this. So this would be the 5th.
Okay.
Okay. So I knew that it passed because it did not prompt for the second chance.
Right.
So you can tell with these tests, they run it, and then if you fail, it'll say second chance test initiated or second round initiated, something like that on the screen. It gives you a message. And because we're looking out the window, staring at the screens.
At that Windows XP screen.
And since I don't have a VW like you, I didn't blue screen the fucking system, right?
Yeah.
It caused the whole power to go out. Yeah. It rolled on through, and I was like, oh shit, like this is it.
Yeah.
I passed. And I was like shaking when the guy handed me the report. And I think the guy knew that I had done something to get it to pass. Because he was like, here you go. Just kind of like a little bit of a head shake. Like, just get the fuck out of here, kid. You know, kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very excited that you were able to get that done.
So it's road legal. It's plated. I have a system for getting it to pass when it needs to be retested in 2 years.
Yeah.
When I went to the DMV and handed them the emissions report, the lady said, would you like your emissions report back? And I was like, yes.
Was she like already moving it to the garbage can?
She was. I was like, yes. And she was like, why? And I was like, I'm framing that. I was like, you do not know how hard it is to get a 20-year-old Saab to pass emissions. Yeah.
Well, I am very excited that you were able to do that because we got to go together.
We did.
To a track day.
Yeah.
For the first time in a long time.
Yes.
We actually got out together to go to a track day.
At
Not
High Plains
pictured
Raceway.
here, my car.
Yes, your R32. Because I think you were on the track at the time.
Probably.
Yeah, because you took the space behind Peter. There's Peter's at M3 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Peter, Chow, you, me,
And my dad.
your father.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a good time. We laid down some laps.
We did. I have videos to show
Okay.
that we'll do on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to see how those turned out.
I do have a video of a McLaren passing me when I was doing 100 miles an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the range of cars that show up to these things are
Yes.
hilarious. And there's a long straight,
It's almost half mile long? Is
something
that
like that, yeah, at High Plains. And the speed differential going into turn 4 is pretty spectacular sometimes. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was really happy to get back in the groove.
Yeah.
It took me probably a session and a half to kind of just feel like, oh, okay, I remember what I'm doing here.
Right.
Kind of shake off the cobwebs.
Yeah.
And get back to consistency. Like I think we timed a couple one of my sessions and
2 sessions, I think.
I think I had how many laps that were within a second of each other? Like,
you had a bunch. Yeah, I'll have to run the numbers, but yeah, you had a bunch of laps that were within a second of each other. Yeah, you were pulling 221 and 220s.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Which for my slow ass car, not too bad.
Ian,
I was
you
pretty happy
do
with that.
great on the track. This is going to be the part where you hate me talking about how great you are on the track.
Well, because I want to talk about driving with you.
See, and that's where you try to deflect, right?
Well, it's not interesting.
We will get to me. It is interesting.
Right.
Ian, so I had the luxury of having Peter there and having Peter ride with you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then what...
Did he ride with you as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because what he did was he was able to be the 2-factor authentication for my query on whether or not Ian is a good driver on the track.
Uh-huh.
And Peter came away really impressed, Ian.
Oh, okay.
As am I. You are very good on the track. Your heel toe rhythm, like everything, like it all just falls into place with you. When I'm riding with you on the track, I think like you could do that and then get out of the car and play some jazz drums. Like just because you're like you're so coordinated and your timing is so nailed down.
Right.
You've put in a lot of hard work and you have like legitimate coordination.
Right.
Right.
Well, some of that is that I've lived with that car for 10 years.
True. That is some of it, but the actual repetitive coordination is a real honed thing, and it really shows.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. That's also just part of my like that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
To find speed is I gotta like.
You have to nail every down.
I got to do the checklist.
Carry the speed.
Well, I just got to like build a checklist for myself.
Okay.
And like once I'm happy with that checklist, then I can start like shortening my braking zone. I can start like
that's the right way to go about it,
right? And making then once you get a baseline, then you can make changes, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
I started doing turn 6 and third gear.
Yep.
And that was an improvement.
Right.
Like those sorts of things.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just like I don't know. Yeah. Build consistency and then find speed from there.
Yeah. So this is my first time having the Vigan on the track.
Yeah.
And so I've done some work on the Vigan. I've installed an aftermarket diverter valve. Now it is holding boost a lot better. It's a lot more linear. Mm-hmm. Like the boost, remember the boost delivery in Dusty Rusty?
It's insane.
So this is similar.
Yeah.
Right? So now it's starting to feel like it's really no shit.
But it's still much less scary feeling, even from the passenger seat. Like it's much less scary feeling than and some of that is tires, I think. A lot of that is probably tires.
Yep. Yeah.
And just the different chassis.
Yes.
But the way the power is delivered feels much more progressive and less insane.
Right. And I think a lot of that comes down to the engine. So this is a 2.3 liter versus Dusty Rusty's 2.
Right.
So you're just dealing with more even torque when you're getting into boost, so it's not so sudden.
Right.
Right. I think that there's that. But then also I think that the suspension, like this thing's sitting on conies. And so that changes everything on the track, of course. Also, I've completely stripped the interior from the front seats back.
Right.
Right. And so that's a lot lighter. And then I installed that rear strut tower brace.
Yeah.
Like the rear bar. And what that does is that really firms up the rear.
Right.
Because with all that stuff out, I could actually hear how much the vehicle would creak as the chassis would flex. Right. And spoiler alert, every car does this.
Yeah.
You just can't really hear it in most cars. Right. But if you add enough articulation to a car, there's going to be a little bit of flex.
Yeah.
Right. And Dusty Rusty, turns out Dusty Rusty flexed a lot. This flexes a lot as well. It's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, NG 900 platform. But yeah, so with that brace in the back, it really stiffened it up. And guess what? Papa wants to rotate now.
Yeah. It does. It felt really good.
Yeah.
From the passenger seat.
Yeah.
It was. It's impressive. Like it's a fast car.
Thank you. It choo-choos on that straight.
Oh man, it really does. It builds speed like crazy.
Yeah, my shift point from third into fourth is 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then I get into fourth for a while and I hit like 110, 111 on the straight.
Yeah. I would say probably, well, I guess that's what you were seeing on the GPS. Huh?
Yeah.
I think my speedo is a little optimistic.
Okay.
Because I think I was seeing,
we can look at the videos. We'll look
have
after
to.
this. Yeah.
Because I thought I was seeing about a little north of, I guess between 105 and 110.
Okay. All right.
But that, I don't think that's probably not right. It was probably topping out right.
You know what? When you were behind me, because we did some of these laps where you were behind me, right? There were points where I could not pull away from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think there was a couple of times, especially because that was an earlier session.
Yeah.
And I think you were still kind of building confidence where I was getting.
Oh, yeah.
That is one thing that, you have stickier tires on here, but you still struggle with the exiting corners cleanly with this thing.
Right.
And I definitely do get better exit
Yes.
than you do.
Yeah.
So I pull on you for the first 20 yards after the corner.
Right.
And then you kind of just you're gone.
Choo choo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we were behind. I was behind for a while, like a Camaro, and then there was a Corvette too that was that they needed more practice.
Right.
They needed some practice.
Right.
Very fast car.
Right.
Needed some practice. And I would just eat them up through the braking zone and through the exit of the corner.
Right.
And then they would get traction.
Right.
Or their traction control would stop blinking at them, I'm guessing.
Right.
And then it was just like, oh, goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye later.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Which is always, demoralizing.
Hey, you know what? I'd rather hold somebody through the turns than just throw money at horsepower.
Right. Yeah.
Personally. Yeah. So while we were out on the track, right, you and I were doing the advanced sessions at first, and Peter was doing the novice sessions, right? Peter's first time on a track, period.
Right.
He's completely hooked. He loved it. He had a fantastic time.
Yeah. How could you not?
Right.
Exactly. He did get
Exactly.
himself motion sick by the end of the day, which I thought was funny.
True. Yeah. Turns out you shouldn't just pound a whole bunch of sandwiches and then get in the car with you and then me back to back.
Right.
But he said that there was a moment, because we talked on the phone a day or two after it, the track day. He said that there was a moment where he was watching us in our session, right?
Uh-huh.
And this view that you can see here, you can see the back S's, right? Back through here, right?
Right. Yeah. That's one of my favorite parts of the track. It's this downhill S into the pit straight.
Yeah.
And you can kind of take a lot of curb and it's a lot of fun.
It's one of my favorites now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I have a car that actually wants to kind of rotate a bit.
And you can use that curb, especially on that the second, you can just see it right at the bottom.
Yep.
Right at the bottom there, the curb is kind of high.
Uh-huh.
But you can kind of use it to rotate when you're on throttle. It's a lot of fun.
I like that. I like that. But Peter said he saw the Vigan coming down because seeing the Vigan on the track was kind of cool for him, right? That was his car, right? And he saw the Vigan and then he saw the McLaren. There's a McLaren MC124C, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, both of these people are having the same amount of fun.
Right.
Right? And they obviously have whole different ways of getting there.
Right.
But like, look, like I'm out here in the Vigan for like all said and done less than $4,000.
Right.
Right? Including a few failed emissions tests. Right? For $4,000 for the car, it's legal. You know, most of that's tires.
Yeah.
And some things that I didn't even need to change.
Right.
Right? I could have just been out there anyway. Right?
Yeah.
And here I am on the track in the Vigan having a fantastic time.
It's awesome.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. So I appreciate Pete's perspective on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
We also had helmet-to-helmet communication for the first time.
Yes, and I'm excited to play with that more because we're going to do some karting videos, I think, with that, which is going to be a blast. But I do have some lessons learned.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So for me, my big lesson learned is that regular .4 brake fluid is not enough for my car.
That's one of mine, too. Yeah, I boiled my brake fluid.
I did as well.
Yep.
My brake pedal is very soft now. I had been running like some outrageous brake fluid.
Me too. Yeah.
And I think what happened was, remember my brake rotors were backwards?
Yes. Yes.
And so I was like, oh, maybe the venting will be better now and I won't need the crazy brake fluid. But what I didn't account for was that I have much stickier tires now. And so now I'm leaning on the brakes even more because before I was kind of tire limited.
Right.
And now I'm brake limited.
Yeah.
And I cooked the brakes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for real. There was
a lot of smoking.
A few times after I came in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need, like, no shit brake fluid next time.
I smoked my brakes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, I think we have one other lesson learned.
No. We have a million lessons for me. Yeah. Lessons to be learned. So, here's what I want to do. So, we were talking about how I have difficulties heel towing.
Correct.
In this car. So what I want to do is I want to get some racing seats for the Vigan because I think that's going to change my driving position and drop me down and give me some more leg room because I feel like I sit so close now. It's hard for me to twist my leg without hitting the steering wheel. Right. So I want to drop down and then I want to start working on heel towing.
Yeah.
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 That might help.
Yeah, because when I try to move over, my knee or the meat on my leg right behind my knee, your upper knee meat, as the medical term, hits like really gets in the steering wheel. I don't have room to flip my foot over like that.
Right, because your pedal box, like when I was sitting in your car, the pedal box seems like it has plenty of room, and the pedals are set up okay for heel toe.
So they're set up different than the standard NG900. On the Vigan, they're set up so that they're linear. On the NG900, by default, the brake pedal was much higher than the gas pedal, so that if you panicked, you would hit the brake first and not the gas pedal.
Well, but that's also That's also what you want. You also want it, because in my car, that's how it is too. The brake pedal is higher because if you think about it, you're pushing
in,
and then you're rolling off to blip the throttle.
Okay.
So you do want the brake pedal to be up a little bit. If they're completely flush, that's not actually a great setup.
Okay.
For heel toe. So that's fine.
Okay.
It's just whether you have physically enough room to do it, which is where your problem is.
Yes.
So the other thing I was thinking, like, did you try it the other way?
Yes, I did, and that's impossible.
Heel on the brake?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I can't get over like that. Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's my knee hitting the inside console.
Oh, so that direction is the console.
Yeah. The other way is the steering wheel. Yeah. Yeah.
How do other giant people heel toe? Because, I mean, there are like tall race car drivers.
Yeah, I think they're in a racing seat. And then they have a tiny little steering wheel that's up to their chest. Right? And they have all the room they want down there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I need to set it up so that I can heel toe because that would drastically improve things for me.
But even if you can't heel toe, I think you could do a lot to just clean up the braking zone.
Oh, definitely.
Because that is where I think a lot of your problems are.
Absolutely, yeah. You know how we start virtual track days where like I'm the old man, I start puttering around the track and then I slowly get faster.
Right.
You witnessed that in real life.
Right. Yeah.
You did. I mean, it's the same.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the reason I handle virtual track days the same that I do as real life. You don't. You're just 10-10 straight out of the gate in a virtual track day. You're very much more measured in real life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I treat it the same. Yeah. Yep, I putter those first few laps.
Yeah. I took the first session pretty slow, but then it was full send after that.
Yeah. I have a couple other lessons learned about how to do these track days the right way, because I think we're close to perfecting them.
Okay.
With our technique. I don't know if we should give away our secret sauce.
No, yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, you have the all-day session, you have the morning session, and you have the afternoon session, right? Our technique is to do the afternoon session.
I think this works in spring and fall.
Spring and fall, right.
Summer,
maybe not.
That could get a lot.
Right.
It gets hot out there.
Yeah, it does. It does, right? And boost lag or, heat soak in the turbo, not good. No choo-choo.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a chew.
Yeah, coo-coo, choo-choo.
Terrible.
So we do the afternoon session, and that's mainly because everybody that's been there for all day starts to leave and the sessions really thin out.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you just show up for that afternoon session, and next time we go, I'm actually going to sit out the very first and maybe even the second sessions of the afternoon session because traffic is so thick.
Right.
And then as people kind of get their lap times and, stuff like that, then they say I might be done, or they start something will break on somebody's car. They'll skip a session. The sessions really start to thin out. Yeah. And then by the end, you can just have open lapping and almost the track to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that last session, I didn't see anybody.
See, that's the thing, right? We were puttering around in the Vigan, right? Debating on whether or not I was going to try heel towing.
Right.
And there was no one around.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because you were like, I need to do this in a controlled environment. And I was like, we're at a racetrack.
Motherfucker, there is no other controlled environment.
This is the controlled environment.
Right. Yeah. And it's really a space thing, man. Also, it is a little bit of a coordination thing. So I think that in some ways, you're a little bit of Larry Bird playing basketball with kindergartners, where you're just why can't you fucking dunk?
Well, okay.
Right? Because I think honestly, you have a coordination chip that I only have a portion of.
Yeah.
Right? Ian, I'm 6'4" and white. I'm not coordinated. It's taken me years to learn how to stand up on a bicycle. There is a little bit of something that I just don't have that I'm going to have to work harder at to nail that coordination.
Well, and I think that might be also too some of your understeer issues on the exit, because we talked about that too.
Yes,
especially with the front wheel drive. I think we're getting too far, or you don't have there's the thing about imagine there's a string attached from the steering wheel to the accelerator pedal.
Yes.
To where you can't press the accelerator until you've started unwinding the wheel.
Right.
And you were understeering on the exit of the corner because you were getting on the throttle before you would
unwind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you could use less steering lock and end up at the same place in the corner because you're not understeering.
Yes, I bet you're right.
And I think that's just like you said, that's just a coordination, kind of lining up the movement here with the movement of your foot.
Yep. So I'm going to have to tackle those in components, tackle them separately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, Ian, have you ever seen me dance?
I have not.
Yeah, there's a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian.
I can't dance either.
Yeah, but you have rhythm.
I guess.
Yeah, you have rhythm. I have no rhythm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the music I listen to. Do you think that there's rhythm in here? Venetian snares throwing synthesizers at walls.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. So,
well, I need to work on, I also need to work on my braking zones, making them shorter.
Okay.
I need to have more confidence. The other part of the track that I really need to work on is that 9, 10, 11 complex where you're going really fast downhill and there's that really fast right-hander.
Yeah.
I think I do really well at 8. Like
Yeah.
that hairpin.
Yeah.
That's
you
the,
do.
the slowest part of the track.
Yeah.
I usually nail that braking zone, and like I think I get a good amount of speed out of that corner. But the section after that is terrifying to me.
Yes. Yes.
And like it should be essentially flat in my car, and it is not when I'm driving.
You know,
I lose so much speed there.
That is the scary part.
Yeah.
It is. There was one thing that I did notice when we were on the track, and it was on your approach, right? And I don't know if you're doing this on purpose or not, so tell me.
Okay.
So on your approach, you were not necessarily as far outside as you could be. And then as you got to the turn, you would kind of dive for a second to the outside and then in.
And that section in particular?
Most sections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know if you were like kind of like upsetting your car on purpose to get a little bit more rotation out of it. But I did notice that you would kind of go out then in a little bit.
Right.
And I think if you were in a high power rear wheel drive car, you'd just be spinning.
Right.
Right.
In the slow corners, I am trying to get some rotation.
Right,
And
right.
that does help with that. I think in some of the faster corners, it's just I'm not being precise enough with my placement.
Okay.
And I think you're
Okay.
right. I do need to work on that.
Okay.
Especially in that in the section we were just talking about, because
Yeah.
it's hard to get, because it's fast and flowing.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the car in the right spot.
Yeah.
To really maximize the track width.
Right.
Into, I guess that's turn 10.
Yeah.
So that's the corner I feel like I have so much problems with.
Yeah.
You know, I think before it was turn 4, but I feel like I'm in a good place with that now. And turn 10 is like kind of hard for me.
Yeah.
I just need to like,
You'll get it.
yeah.
You'll
It's just
get it.
that one's just confidence. I
Yeah.
think.
There's some scary stuff, but our technique, like rolling out when not a lot of people are on the track. This is like really laying the groundwork for like us building up the confidence. It's maximizing the safety that we have out there. Yeah, I think that's the way that I prefer to do a track day, and will continue doing track days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good work.
It was a
good
good
work,
time.
team.
It was a good time. There was one other moment that I wanted to mention. So when we were on the straightaway, I got passed by the McLaren. I was already doing 100 miles an hour, and that McLaren just went boom right on by. Jesus.
Yeah. Those things are crazy fast.
Right? I saw it in my rearview mirror, and I was like, I wonder how long, and it was past me. Couldn't even get the whole sentence out.
Yeah.
And that was in my head. That was head speed. Not
There were some
mouth
really
speed.
fast cars there.
There were.
Yeah. I got passed by a GT3 in kind of a similar situation. Like I was like, man, I got a really good exit out of the whoa. Just gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what was that? Was that a Camaro that deafened us when it went by?
Oh, that ZL1.
Oh my God, the loudest exhaust I've ever heard.
So loud. And it was just so fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fast.
Atomic quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But we had a great time.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yep. Track your cars, everybody.
Correct.
So the Vigan, at first, it's gone through several phases of what I wanted to do with it. I think this is what I want to do. I'm going to autocross it. I'm going to maybe rally cross it. We'll have to figure out how we can lift it, how we can raise it up on the conies a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe take the front bumper and side skirts off. Right. And do track days.
I fully
That's
endorse.
it.
Fully endorse this plan.
There's so much rust in the chassis that it's never going to come back. It's never going to be a show car.
Yeah.
So why not enjoy it for what it is? An amazing engine.
Yeah.
An amazing transmission and a turbo.
What I really want to make happen, this is what I really want to make happen. I need to talk you and PETA into this. Is I want to do a track day with the Vigan, with my R32,
Yeah.
and PETA's C30.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want us to switch cars.
Yeah.
And I want us to compare lap times.
Yeah.
Specifically, I really want to set a lap time in each one of the three.
Right.
Because I think of the three of us, I'm probably the most consistent.
Yes.
I am dying to know
Yeah.
if I'm faster in your car or in my car.
Oh man. Yeah.
You know, I feel like if they're all running well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're all comfortable with each other
Yeah.
driving each other's cars.
Right.
Honestly, I'm fine with either of you driving my car, because I feel like my car's so forgiving.
I would be good with you driving the Vigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a blast.
Yeah.
and I'm dying to know what the order would be and how far apart they are. Yeah. I'm guessing they're within 4 seconds of each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think they're probably all around that. Like, I think they'd be spread between like a 2:15 to like a 2:25.
Yeah,
something like that.
I was just gonna say 2:25. I think you're right.
I think they'd all be right in that range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dying to know.
Yeah. Right.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can make that happen in the spring or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll hit them up for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah. We have some listener content. So a thing you can do on the show is you can send us stuff and we'll talk about it on the show.
True. Yeah. You can text us.
Yep. 720-515-1391.
Or leave us a voicemail at that same number. Or you can email us at apexadjacent@gmail.com.
Yep. And you can send us an FMK cars. Mm-hmm. You can send us a Carstanza. You can do any of that stuff. Tweet at us, etc. So our good buddy Eric in Illinois, he sent us 2. We're going to go to the one that I like less first because I want to end on an up note.
Okay.
Okay. All right. First of all, he said like only in Florida. Yeah. So this is somebody that he saw with a Florida license plate. And Ian, what's that license plate say? Is it a vanity plate, you think? Or you think they pulled that at the DMV, Ian?
I don't think that was random.
Read it to the people that are only listening to the audio.
Y69
Nice.
XXX.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody got a vanity plate with Y69.
Y69 XXX.
XXX. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So it's yeah. Yep.
And it's a Jeep with lots of Jeep themed stickers, which I always think is hilarious.
Yep. The Jeep running over your stick figure family, the hang on, I want to try something tire cover.
Right.
Yep. So there you go. So yeah, wouldn't that be hilarious if that was the one you pulled at the DMV? Like,
right. But I mean, come on.
I would pull like Y68 XXY. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if when they hand you your license plate, you can just be like, look.
No.
Like, yeah, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, like those are my ex's initials or something like that. No. Yeah. Right? Okay. And then he sent us this one. He said, I don't know if Hot Wheels counts for MyEyes, but here you go. It's rad. It's an Oldsmobile 442 donk. It's a Hot Wheels donk, Ian.
That's awesome.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah. So thank you, Eric, for sending us a freaking Hot Wheels donk. I need to go find one of these now.
I know.
Does Nico know what a donk is?
He does. Yeah, we've seen them before.
Oh, nice.
Out in the wild.
Yes.
And I was very excited to tell him about them.
Yeah, as you should be.
Teach your children about donks.
Proselytize the good
Folks.
word. The good word of donk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric, for sending those to us.
Yeah.
Dave, I would like to end.
Okay. All right.
Because this is been a long show.
Everything?
It's been a long show.
Yes.
But I want to end on an FMK cars.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even do any FMK cars.
Well, we're doing one right now.
Oh, my God. I have one for you, too.
FMK Cars is a game that Dave and Ian play on the Apex Adjacent podcast. It's based on the classic game of Fuck, Marry, Kill. But instead of playing with people like gross people do, we play it with cars because we're nice.
There you go.
F means you drive it for a day. M means you marry it. It's your new daily driver. K means you kill it. It goes to the crusher immediately.
That's right, buddy. We forgot to put FMK in the table of contents.
Is rebranded theme.
Okay. All right.
This one is called A Turd by Any Other Name. Just like us.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Cars that were renamed. Hey, just like us. So these are just rebadged cars.
Okay. All right.
All right. So the first one is a Chrysler Conquest.
Okay.
Which is exactly the same as a Mitsubishi Starion.
Yep.
Starion? Starion. I've only ever
seen it
or heard it pronounced by British people. And they do whatever the fuck they want.
I know, right? I'm surprised there isn't a Y in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Starion, but I'm from Missouri, so don't listen to me.
So the Chrysler Conquest.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. All
cool
right.
car. Cool car.
Okay.
The next one, the Kia Elan, which was the Lotus Elan, but they just licensed it.
What?
And sold it as a Kia.
No.
Yeah.
When did this happen? Why is my voice so high? Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's a Lotus Elan.
Sold as a Kia.
Sold as a Kia.
Holy shit. Well done, Kia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. And the last one is the Subaru.
Ah,
the
yes.
Saab 92X.
92X. Yep. The Subaru. Okay. All right. Well,
Which was, for anyone who doesn't know, a WRX.
Yes, it was. Yeah. The WRX hatchback. Yeah. Okay. Well, oh man, God, this is a tough one. Okay. So I think I might have to kill the Kia Elan. No. Ian, here's what I'm doing.
I think I have my prediction of what you're going to do.
Okay, so I'm going to marry the Chrysler Conquest because I love it. Right?
Okay. That's what I thought you would do.
I have to kill the Subaru.
That's what I thought you would do.
It's a Saab that shall not be a Saab.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. That's what I thought.
Right.
That's what I thought.
For a day, I'm going to drive the Kia Elan. You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
Go to the Lotus meetups and piss them all off.
Perfect.
What would
That's
you
the
do?
Perfect answer. I think you've answered completely correctly. I'm utterly fascinated to drive the Kia Elan because I have to know how terrible it is.
Yeah.
And my love for the Starion is well documented.
Yes.
So I would marry that.
Okay.
It's super cool.
Okay.
I want one.
So I have an FMK cars for you. You want to squeeze one more in real quick?
Let's squeeze it on in.
Okay, so buddy of mine at work sent me this article. BMW painted one of their cars with Vanta Black. Do you know what Vanta Black is?
It's like deep black.
Yeah. It is like the world's darkest black pigment, right? And they say like it's really surreal. Like they can't explain how emotionally upsetting it is when you see it in person because it like really messes with your head.
It's like looking in the mirror for me.
Yeah. Ian, you're a handsome boy. Yeah, so the pigment uses tiny carbon nanotubes to absorb up to 99.965 of light striking its surface. Okay, that got me thinking about an FMK cars.
Okay.
Yeah, they say this is crazy when you see a car in this because it has no reflection, no contours. It's just weird. It becomes a weird negative space.
Huh.
So this FMK cars, it doesn't have a name, but it's themed around that. So these are paint jobs, Ian, and cars. Okay?
All right.
So first up, you remember our good buddy Ted Parks?
Yeah.
Remember the car he built?
Yes.
The Varsity Roadster?
Yes.
Well, you're going to get a Varsity Roadster, all right?
Okay.
But it's painted in Vanta Black.
Oh.
So all those curves and contours, because that is such an amazing, curvy, contoured car and so cool.
Right.
Yeah, some of it's going to be lost. Okay?
Right. Okay.
All right? Up next, Ian, I'm going to give you a BMW X5M.
Okay.
Okay?
Not an MX1.
I'll give you an MX1. No, you can put whatever badge you want on it.
Okay.
But here's the thing with the MX5 or the X5M. Damn it, the Carstanzas in my brain.
Uh-huh.
You get to pick from the BMW Art Cars paint jobs.
Oh.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
And you can have whatever paint job you want. Okay. So like Warhol did one, Liechtenstein did one, Koons did one. Let's see, who else? The guy that did he also did an airplane, Gary. This one's my favorite. Yeah, that one's amazing. Who did that one?
I don't know.
That's not, I can't remember. Alexander Calder. Okay. Yeah. So you get a BMW art car livery on your 2019 X5M.
That's pretty badass. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Lastly, I'm going to give you a 1989 Nissan Cedric.
Yes.
Okay. It is covered in chalkboard paint, and I'm giving your children unlimited once a week. Pappy Uncle Dave comes by with unlimited chalk and a bunch of espresso, and I let him go whole hog on your Cedric.
I did not think you were going there. I thought you were going to say it's wrapped in Cedric the Entertainer's face.
That would be fantastic.
I thought that's where you were going with that. Yeah. But I like that too. Okay. All right.
So you have a curvy car that loses all contours. You have an art car X5M, and you have a Cedric. I picked the Cedric because it has a lot of flat surfaces. Yeah, right. It's very boxy. Yeah, so they could really get their artwork on there.
That's really tough because all of those are really appealing. Actually, And you know I'm obsessed with these sorts of
Yeah, JDM.
weirdo JDM
Yeah,
luxury
sedans.
cars,
Uh-huh.
especially ones that require chocks on the back wheels to stay in place.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. I will say the Cedric is one of the lesser ones that I'm obsessed with. So I think I'm going to kill the Cedric.
Okay. All right.
I think I'll drive the Varsity for a day.
Okay, with the Vanta Black.
With the Vanta Black, because that
in
would
people's
be
minds.
It'd be hard to do that to that car.
Yeah.
for longer than that.
It would. It would. It's such a gorgeous car.
My only thought is that in profile,
Yes.
in like straight on profile,
Yeah.
in Vanta Black it would still be a cool shape
Oh yeah.
of
Yeah.
negative space.
Right. Yeah.
But the idea of the art car
uh-huh.
is way too cool.
Okay.
Like that's super rad.
Even if it's on an X5M, you'd still be okay with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I love the BMW art car project.
They're amazing.
I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
There's only like one or two of them that I don't like.
Right.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
I love
Frank
it.
Stella's is amazing. I love Liechtenstein's.
Yep, that one's super
Yeah.
cool. The Warhol one's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're all super cool.
Right? Yeah, they've done great. Hockney's, yeah. 850.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep.
Well, cool, man. I think you did well, Ian.
What would you do?
I think I would probably marry the Varsity in
Okay.
Vanta Black just because it's such a trip, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think for a day, it would be the Cedric and your children.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I might have to kill the X5M.
I'd sneak a penis in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you would. I know you would. Oh,
I would be doing both of us a disservice if I didn't.
You're right. You're right, Ian.
Dave, I think we did a car show. We did a car show and a half.
That was dense, Ian.
I hope everyone enjoyed the very first official Apex adjacent
yeah.
car podcast thingy.
Exactly.
If you did or didn't, let us know with the hotline, which was
720-515-1391.
That's the one.
Yeah, if you see something, send it to us.
apexadjacent@gmail.com.
Yep.
All the media socials. We're on the YouTube. We're on the iTunes. We're on the places and the things and the guys.
We're there.
We're all there.
Yep.
We love you, everyone.
We do.
Goodbye.